3D printers have been another huge step in the development of technology, and for those who aren't familiar with them, there's plenty of 3D printers for beginners, for those who are interested, and we're going to show you some of those printers in this video. Keep watching to see which one would be best suited for you. First of all, what is a 3D printer? 3D printers are just how they sound. They use a process called additive manufacturing and turns digital models into three-dimensional objects. These types of printers use small nozzles and print these objects with materials such as plastic, resin, polymers, or metal. The printers prints out the selected material layer by layer and then fuses them with an adhesive or ultraviolet light to create a 3D model. And the possibilities are endless. There's many different kinds of 3D printers, and there's several things to look for when shopping for one, such as its overall build volume, its special features, its price, its printing speed, and the types of materials it can use. However, so below are some options to choose from. Next, Creality Ender 3 Pro 3D printer. This printer is 8.7 inches long, 8.7 inches wide, and 9.8 inches in height. It weighs 19 pounds and has compatible materials such as polylactic acid, acrylonitrile, butadiene styrene, and polyethylene terephthalate glycol plastic. This printer prints up to 180 millimeters per second. This printer is easy to assemble, has a removable, flexible, and magnetic print bed, and overall great print quality. However, the magnetic printing bed can be tricky to level, but it's a printer that's easy to use and arrives partially assembled with all the necessary tools for its easy setup. Loading the plastic filament is simple, and once it's assembled and switched on, the device is ready to print almost immediately for new users. This printer also comes with a rapid heating feature that gets the printer ready to print in 5 minutes. And in case of any pauses in printing, it also has a resume print function that restarts the job exactly where it left off. This printer costs $236, which is actually a great deal for a 3D printer. Next, Monoprice Select Mini 3D Printer V2. This printer doesn't have the fancy features of the more expensive 3D printer models, but it does offer good value and versatility for its price, which is $175.99. Its build volume is 4.7 inches long by 4.7 inches wide and 4.7 inches in height. It weighs about 10 pounds and comes with compatible materials and all filament types such as ABS, PLA, and wood and metal composites. And as added bonus, refurbished models also cut down on electronic waste. The cons of it, however, is how small it is. But this means it's also small enough to fit on any size desktop. And the printing speed is only 55 millimeters per second, which is relatively slow for a 3D printer, but it's good if you want a less expensive 3D printer. And it's also especially easy to use for beginners. And since this model is refurbished, you can save even more money when you refurbish it. This printer also has a heated build plate and wide extruder temperature range that maxes out at 482 degrees Fahrenheit. And the flexibility with the amount of materials it can use opens the door to a variety of objects you can print. Overall, this is a budget-friendly but small 3D printer, and there's no doubt that it's excellent for beginners. And now, Snapmaker 2.0 Modular 3-in-1 A350T 3D printer. This 3D printer lets you get everything done with one device and has many special features. It not only prints well, but can also do engravings or carvings, as well as cutting into materials such as plywood, paper, acrylic, fabric, or leather, or carving out shapes and textures with hardwood, PCB, acrylic, POM, carbon fiber sheets, and many more. It can print using several compatible materials such as PLA, wood PLA, PTG, TPU. It has an overall build volume of 12.59 inches by 13.77 inches by 12.99 inches and weighs a whopping 61.73 pounds. As mentioned previously, the perks of this 3D printer come with several functions all in one. This printer can also create larger 3D models with its bigger surface area and has an innovative, sturdy design that's built to last. However, its weight can be a con as it's very heavy, and its price is very expensive for newbies, costing about $1,800. But there's a lot of perks that come with the Snapmaker despite its price. And we haven't even mentioned its incorporation of auto leveling, its filament runout and power loss recovery, its Wi-Fi connectivity, and it's got an all-metal high-strength build that's designed to last. Up next, Monoprice Voxel 3D printer. This printer is very user-friendly with its fully enclosed design, auto-leveling platform, and auto-feeding filament feature. It has a build volume of 5.9 inches long by 5.9 inches wide by 5.9 inches high. The printer weighs about 20 pounds and can print with various compatible materials such as ABS, PLA, wood fill, copper fill, steel fill, and bronze fill filaments at up to 100 millimeters per second. It comes with an auto-leveling platform, a full enclosure, is Wi-Fi enabled, and has a built-in camera for print monitoring, and all of these automated features make it easy to use. However, like the Monoprice Select Mini 3D Printer V2, although it's not mini, it has a relatively small build volume. But on the plus side, the printer will arrive fully calibrated and ready to print out of the box thanks to its small and compact size. Its auto-leveling feature makes sure that the build platform is in the right position, while an auto-feeding filament feature makes loading filament easy. It also comes with a built-in filament sensor that recognizes low filament levels and then pauses prints to notify you that it needs to be reloaded. And you only need to move the build plate, which is flexible, and with flexing your finished product should pop off. And all of these functions are controlled and monitored through its color touchscreen, or can be done through your smartphone through the Polar Cloud cloud-based platform. You can also check on printing progress through the window or with your phone thanks to the built-in camera. And now, Robo E3 3D printer. This 3D printer is for more complex projects, but if you're up for the challenge, then this printer is perfect for you. This 3D printer has an overall build volume of 5.9 inches, along by 5.9 inches wide, with a height of 5.9 inches. It weighs 19.8 pounds and can print with over 20 materials, such as ABS, PLA, wood fill, copper fill, steel fill, brass fill, carbon fiber fill, magnetic iron, glass fill, bronze fill filaments, and many more. Its options to print with more materials, especially with glass and metal, which is not a feature in a lot of 3D printers, makes the possibilities of visions for your projects endless. The Robo E3 3D printer also prints up to 100 millimeters per second, and it comes with an auto-calibrated print bed, can store up to 1,000 models on its internal storage, is also Wi-Fi enabled, and it comes with 2 spools of PLA filament. If you're the kind of person who wants a more complex 3D printer right away, rather than getting a simpler one to use just to upgrade a year later, then this one is for you. Plus, if you plan on printing the same objects over and over again, the E3's built-in storage will come in handy. It's a printer for beginners because of its auto-calibrating print bed that improves the odds of you ending up with a satisfying print rather than one that's lopsided, as some designs don't always turn out the way you want them to. However, a con of this printer is that, like the other cons mentioned previously, even though it's excellent for beginners that are more adventurous, it's pricey. It costs around $1,000. Although you do get your money's worth with this printer and all of the amazing features that come with it, plus you get a good head start with its 2 spools of filament. 3D printing can get overwhelming for those who aren't tech savvy. But for beginners, you don't have to worry. Even though there are many options, among those options, there are many 3D printers that are easy to use. And things to look for a more beginner-friendly 3D printer should have a simple setup process, easy refilling process, and intuitive controls. And if you look for those features, those should ease your anxiety. And features like a touchscreen interface, print resume functions, safety features, and a heated bed that can also ensure a well-made model foundation can also make a 3D printer more user-friendly. And there are also many printers like the Robo E3 3D printer that come with materials so you can get started as soon as possible. There are also many other budget-friendly 3D printers, although with the cost of materials, there can be ongoing expenses with the more projects you want to print. Nonetheless, if you're determined, you can become an expert at 3D printing and maybe even advise others on the topic as well. So what do you think of this video? Will you be purchasing any of these 3D printers? What objects will you make? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.